Hey friends, family, thank you so much for tuning in again for another one of our midweek moments as we're working through questions that you have submitted for this summer. And here we are in July. We're getting started, so I'm going to deal with another question today that you've submitted. And if you have a question, you can submit those to us. There'll be some space there in the comments below if you would like to do that. And I'll try to do everything I can to get to all the questions I possibly can throughout these remaining Wednesdays. So here we go. Here's a question that was submitted. How do I deal with being offended? How do I deal with being offended? What a great question. Get this one a lot. I think we should start off by looking at Joseph in Genesis chapter 37 all the way through 41. If you go to chapter 37 though, this is where it all begins with Joseph. And to keep it short, because we're doing a devotional here, okay? To keep it short, Joseph, he had every opportunity to be offended. His own family overlooked him, betrayed him, falsely accused him, sold him, just completely forgotten. Multiple opportunities to be offended, where when you actually look at the story, who was offended in the story, and it was Joseph's family, his brothers in particular, because Joseph had a vision from God. And so they didn't like that. So they got offended. And we see what they did because of the offense that they took, in that Joseph didn't take an offense. One interesting thing as you read through there, that the Bible keeps saying about Joseph that the Lord was with Joseph. The Lord was with Joseph. Why was the Lord with Joseph? It doesn't say the Lord was with the brothers. It says the Lord was with Joseph. Well, it's because he didn't let offense define him. He didn't let their injustice deter him. He stayed focused. He trusted that God was with him. So God was with him because he did not take offense when he could have taken offense. And that's where we start today. So question number one, what is an offense? We must define this term before we talk about the solution. So what is an offense? Let's just ask Jesus. Jesus said in Luke 17:1, it's impossible that no offenses should come. So it's guaranteed that offenses will come. You cannot avoid the fact that you're going to have opportunities to be offended. They're going to happen. The question is not, will I have opportunities to be offended? It's how am I going to respond to offense when it does come? So here's a thought. Offense isn't just what happens to you, it's what happens in you. Okay, that's what an offense is. It's something that's in you. You allowed it in and you are holding on to it. Okay, it was handed to you like this. Here's an offense, and then you decide to grab it and hold on to it. Okay, so it becomes a problem when you take the offense and you hold on to it. That's the trap. That's what Satan wants, is that the offenses will come. They're going to come. Jesus said that. The difference is, and what Satan wants is you to grab it. Okay, so it's just like if you've been tempted with anything, the temptation is to take it, whatever that is. You don't have to take it. You don't have to. So you don't have to be offended. Okay, but if you take the offense, it's a perception that becomes a prison. That's what offense is. It changes your perception about something that happened, and then you get locked into that prison and you start to think inwardly, not forward. You're inward, not forward. So now I'm focused on this person did this, they said this, they didn't do this, they didn't say this, they should have done that. I'm making assumptions, which again is the lowest form of communication. You don't even have all the facts. So you assume stuff. Now I'm offended based on things that I don't even know the real truth behind, right? And so that becomes a prison. And offense, the actual word, the Greek word there, it means, it's scandalon. It means it's the trigger to a bait is what offense is. So when you take it, the trap, it's already set, it clamps down when you take offense, right? You can get out of it. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. I want to give you this other thought. You may not choose the wound, but you do choose whether you walk in freedom or captivity. You choose it. So things are going to happen. There's going to be offenses. You're going to go through storms. That's just part of it. Your choice is, Do I want to walk in freedom or do I want to walk in captivity? An offense is always going to lead you into captivity. It's just what it is. You choose to walk in that or not. So how do we get stuck in it? And then how do we get free? Let's go there. So we get stuck when, number one, we assume the worst. Because again, assumption's a terrible thing. You assume the worst. Here's an example of that. I hear this a lot. Well, they meant to hurt me. They had every intention to drag me down or to hurt me and my family or whatever. You assume the worst intention from somebody, right? Someone did something, didn't do something, and you assume the worst. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you agree with a lie. So, they always leave me out. You start talking in absolutes. They always do this to me, or they never include me, whatever it is, or they don't ever value me. They always cut me out. They don't care. My parents never cared about me. They cared about them more than, or this friend group over here doesn't care about me. So you start using all these absolutes all the time, right? And these generalities and really that's the way Satan works. He wants you to make assumptions on things because it's a way to rationalize being offended, is to make these blanket comments over something that's not true. Like they always are, always, never. I mean, come on now. And here's what's scary is when we have spouses who assume the worst on your spouse. That can lead to issues in marriage, and then you agree with the lie, and that. So then number three is attached to the hurt. So we assume the worst, we agree with the lie, and then we attach to the hurt. So how do you attach to the hurt? You rehearse it, you replay it, you relive it over and over again, in your mind. So you assume something, you agree with the lie, and now I'm just going to replay that thing over and over again. So I stay offended. And so anybody that resembles this person or this group of people that I'm offended at, now I'm mad at all them too. So I have this blanket anger towards people that look anything like this offense that I'm holding on to, right? So it's a prison. So we get free when? Three things. Number one, you refuse the trap. You don't have to catch what the enemy throws. Let me put it to you that way, right? You refuse it. Number two, you release the right. Listen, please don't miss this. Followers of Jesus forfeit their right to be offended. You can be offended if you want to. It's your choice. But as a follower of Jesus, we have to decide, I relinquish my right to be offended. Why? Because I have been forgiven. So therefore, I must forgive. I have been forgiven much. Therefore, I am quick to forgive. Okay? So I release the right, knowing that offense is an event. Being offended is a decision. Okay? So I refuse the trap, I release the right, and I remember God's justice. This is very, very important. Remember God's justice, that He is sovereign, He is in control, right? And God will take care of it. He is Jehovah Jireh, He's Jehovah Nissi, He's fighting my battles. I don't have to deal with every offense that happens or comes my direction. I don't have to grab onto it and try to fix it, right? There is power in releasing that offense and not letting it stay in your heart. Put it to you this way. Forgiveness is how you keep your future from being held hostage by your past. Okay? Forgiveness. Last thing, how do we avoid it going forward? So how do I avoid taking an offense? Proverbs 19:11. A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. It's to one's glory, so therefore it's wise to overlook an offense. So not everyone overlooks an offense, only wise people do. I want you to know that. Wise people overlook an offense. Matthew 24:10. Again, Jesus said, many will be offended. He's talking about the end times. And will betray one another and will hate one another. I mean, that's the culture we live in today. So you need to be aware that we live in a culture that basically preaches it's okay to be offended because it's all about you. So when you're selfish, you're more apt to be offended because it's all about you. And if someone tries to do something to me, I'm angry now, I'm offended, you shouldn't have said that, can't believe they did that. And that's our culture today, right? It's cancel culture. People don't agree with you, just cancel them, be whatever. But as Christ followers, we're called to do something better. Number one, wisdom steps over an offense. It's like that actual word there, we're to step over the offense, that Hebrew word there, and over an offense. We're step over the offense. It's there. We don't pick it up. We step over it. Number two, love covers offense. Proverbs 10:12 says that love covers all offenses. So we must act in love because God is love and God is in us. His Spirit is in us. So we are to act that out. Number 3, the Spirit empowers patience. If you have the fruit of the Spirit, patience is part of the fruit of the Spirit, right? So we should be, again, people that are patient. An offense comes, like, okay, I don't like that. I'm not going to pick that up. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to act in patience. Here's the thing. You can't live free and live offended at the same time. You can't. You can't live free in the freedom that God has given you and the calling and plan He has for your life and live offended at the same time. You cannot carry the blessing and the calling that God has for your life and a grudge and offense at the same time. It just doesn't work. So the question, I'm going to leave you with this. Are you carrying something you were never meant to hold today? Are you carrying an offense today that's holding you back? Are you holding offense that's holding you from walking in the plan and purpose that God has for your life? Just be honest with yourself. Because offense, it feels like a right, like you should be offense, but it steals your joy. It steals purpose. It steals your focus on what God has for you. So let me put it this way. You don't need to get even. You need to be free. You need to stay free from offense. So I'll leave you with this last thought. God's calling is too important to be sidelined by offense. You will be sidelined from the call that God has for your life, the purpose He has for your life. If you hold on to offense, it will literally, you'll grab onto that offense and you will take a seat on the sideline and you'll watch as God is using other people to build His kingdom because you're still angry and you need to forgive. You need to forgive. Who is someone right now, maybe the Lord's put somebody on your heart right now that you need to forgive? And maybe they did something to you recently. Maybe it was a really, really long time ago. Maybe it was a family member. Maybe it was a parent, maybe a grandparent. Maybe it was a friend, co-worker, boss, or somebody that you need to get alone with the Lord and you need to forgive them. Release them. Release them. They don't owe you anything. You release them to the Lord, right? You just trust God. He's in control. And don't live offended. Don't, every time an offense comes your way, when they do, like Jesus said, they're going to come your way. Don't grab onto them and hold them and take them with you. No. You step over them. Patience, forgiveness, love, walk in peace. Don't take offense. You don't have to take offense. It's a decision, okay? We'll talk to you again next week.